First-time voters. First-time voters. There will come a time when politics will have an almost impossible time getting bought off. It's just going to take a little more of the nasty little oppression in question before the citizen gets mad enough to exercise his or her right to vote. The candidate who wins that vote will have to risk not being bought off. The average citizen still has that sort of Minuteman initiative to educate him or herself out of a bottom-class scenario. It usually happens when the wealthy concerns get complacent, imagining it to be too late for the decimated middle class to recover itself. So middle class is a social inevitability. You can synthetically try to eliminate, as the top class, many in the top class try to do. Apparently, they deem that the elimination of the middle class staunches their threat. Well, that's too damn bad. It's a reality of social inevitability that there will be a middle class. Maybe you're going to jam everybody to the bottom class, but they're going to educate up. They're going to educate up. And they don't have to do it with school either. It'll be bootstraps education, whatever it's going to be. So let's review this again. First-time voters. There will come a time when politics will have an almost impossible time getting bought off. As incredible as that may seem, there are principles involved with this, even economic principles. I mean, it's like I think Al Greenspan probably saw that, but you know, we're only human. Miss a lot of the important ingredients, but there is an inevitability. There is economics itself has its own natural aspect to it, its own ecology of economics. You know, the money is only symbolic of an economic, an acknowledgement of a certain economic principle, a certain reality. So there will come a time when politics will have an almost impossible time getting bought off. It's going to take a little more of the nasty little oppression in question before the citizen gets mad enough to exercise his or her right to vote. You know, actually, the thing is that is the ultimate in the election system. It's not in how many people may have voted during the last or previous elections, but it's in what drives the citizen to go vote. Anger and even more principally fear. If those are the drivers, then bribery will be mitigated. You know, I mean, there are gaps in my explanation, but the actual reality is still there, regardless of my well, as Lincoln so aptly put it, our poor ability to add or detract. You know, okay, the candidate who wins that vote will have to risk not being bought off. You know, I mean, without the powerful backing, a lot of people feel as though they're out in limbo. But the candidate that is capable of risking uh, uh, resistance to any kind of bribery, or directly or indirectly, is going to be the one that will win when this vote is in question. And it happens. It can happen all the time. The average citizen still has a sort of Minuteman type, quote unquote, Minuteman initiative to educate him or herself out of a bottom class scenario. I mean, you were talking about the average. That could include me or you. You see, it's not just somebody out there in some mindless statistic. Okay? It usually happens when the wealthy concerns get complacent, imagining it to be too late for the decimated middle class to recover itself. I mean, talk about class, man. Talk about class. So, you know what decimate means. It's like, it was a form of Roman discipline. They'd put people up on bridges or aqueducts or something. You know, if they had to discipline a regiment or a group, they would take them and line them up, and every 10th man would get pushed off. And it was called decimating the ranks, because the word decimal or 10, it's an Egyptian word. Yep. There's a tenor in the choir. There's a tenor in the wallet. There's a tenor in the tennis court. And, of course, there's Tennyson in poetry. Everywhere you go, you have 10, even in monotony. Monotonous. See? And monogamy. Monogotenous. And in the science of monogamy. Monogamy ology, tenematatientius. Yeah, tenematatientius. And then you have tentacles. And then, of course, there's a tent for the, if you've got the fabric. And then there's retentive. We won't even go there. And then there's there. And then there's theristic intellama alla pura nista foristimitatic. And that's an adjective, I think. That's gotta be. What the heck? I need some more coffee here. How do you like that? Cobalt blue. Cobalt. Fabulous color. Different blues. Cobalt, indigo. All right.